Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's Needle here and welcome back to Lothric. Last time out we made our way through the beginning of the Cathedral of the Deep, if I remember correctly. We missed a few items on the outside, which is just coming back to me now. But we're going to go get those today, but we've also got another couple of things. I think we grabbed the tower key last time, didn't we? Tower key, okay, we've got the tower key, so we're going to go check out the tower while we're here. And then we're going to go back, maybe grab the items we missed in the Cathedral, and then we're going to push on towards the boss. Definitely going to beat the boss today, no matter how long this video ends up running. We shouldn't be more than the usual half an hour, but in order to do that we're going to need to keep moving from this point. This is the wrong place, although Leonard's here. Did we speak to Leonard the last time? Let's find out.
Aha, you found a proper red-eye. Brilliant. I knew you were no ordinary man. Now invade and pillage all you like. And if you grow weary of your duty, you too may become a finger. Come on. Give yourself to Rosaria of the Cathedral of the Deep.
So there you go, if you're in doubt of where the Invasion Covenant is based, it's in our very own Cathedral of the Deep, which we're going to investigate today. I don't know if we'll get to the actual Covenant room. If we do beat everything in good enough time, then we probably will do, but it'll maybe take a wee bit of time. Is there a merchant there yet? Nope. Okay, so we no longer need to do this silly jump up here because we have the tower key, which opens up this bit. We're running up here. You can do a couple of things. Just make sure there's no item there isn't. You can drop down onto, there's a little thing just beneath you here. You can drop down there and onto the roof. And that'll let you get to all that area legitimately if you don't want to do the kind of cheaty kind of thing we did at the beginning of this playthrough to get up there. There's another crow's nest over there. It offers the same items, same trade, so it's not really any different. However, you can knock down a ladder there, and that stops you having to come all the way back up those stairs in the tower if you want to get here. There's a couple items down here. There is one at the very bottom, and there's also one kind of just hanging there. It's pretty difficult to get. There's an easier way to get it later in the game once you have a particular ring, because there's less risk involved. So we'll do that. That one you just need to survive on the way down, which I'm sure we will do. If we've not got any souls to lose anyway, just a remember, and a remember doesn't really matter. Taking the lift up, we're still going all the way up. We've still got a long way to go. Coming out here, you may be tempted to go to the left. There's a little message and even a pathway to walk around, but it's a dead end. Don't bother. Just come up here, head right to the top, and grab this item here. Now we're going to investigate this corpse. It's the Firekeeper's Soul. They were a more common item in Dark Souls 1, that's what they were used to upgrade your Estus, but in this game there's only one of them and they do something kind of different. But as you can see here, the corpse is very, very similar to our very own Firekeepers. She has her eyes covered, she has the hair, she has the robes. So it shows that the Firekeeper we have right now tending to us is not the first Firekeeper even at this shrine. And I think, while we're going down on this lift, we can probably check out the description of the soul, and it will give us even more information. Where's the backing key? Oh, we'll walk off here and then we'll deal with it. Soul of a Firekeeper who returned from the Abyss. Soul of a Firekeeper is said to have returned from the Abyss. This Firekeeper preserves the bonfire and serves its champion. She is said to have served and accepted the dark sigil which has tainted her soul. And yet her soul will one day embed itself in the bosom of another Firekeeper. So this Firekeeper is apparently one who went all the way into the darkness and survived and made her way back. And now she has the ability to heal the dark sigil. We have two dark sigils, of course. There you are. So if you're doing the dark sigil sideline, it's all side quests, and you decide that you don't want to do it anymore, then you can use this, give it to the Firekeeper, and thus heal your dark sigils. However, it does end the quest line completely if you want to complete the dark sigil quest. So be careful of that. Once you've done it, there's no way to reverse it. Right, okay. I'm debating whether or not we should try and go for this. I'll give it at least one go, just the one, because there's too much time to run all the way back up. Just make sure I've got my angle right. It's very lucky if you land it, if you know what I mean. You can bounce right off it and things like that. It's a good jump, and we fell off. We survived the drop though. What you're going to get there if you survive that is actually the Firekeeper's outfit. So there you go, if you want to look like the Firekeeper you can get it here. But here's some very distressing sort of imagery right here. Here's a pile of Firekeepers. As you can see, they're not really buried in a coffin to the side, they're actually just all lobbed down the tower and left to lie at the bottom. There's a big massive pile of them as the ages have gone by. On one of them is the Estus ring, and if we check the description of that, which we will because we're going to use it because it's a really awesome ring, it's about time we dropped the coveted Silver Serpent ring in my opinion. Increases HP restored with the Estus flask. A green ring crafted from shards. This ring was entrusted to a certain firekeeper, but in the end she never met her champion, and the ensuing tragic farce became a favourite tale of the masses. Now you might think that's all there is to that story, but later on in the playthrough, if we actually make it through to one of the lesser known areas of this game, you'll actually get a more elaborate take on what actually happened to that particular firekeeper and her champion. So that's pretty good. You can look forward to opening that can of worms up and seeing what happened to that. The Estus ring is a really valuable ring, especially in PvE, because it really does increase the amount of HP your Estus will heal you up. So if you're not planning on PvPing with anyone and you just want to keep healing to your heart's content, then the Estus ring is definitely a great option. I'm going to check what weapons we upgraded the last time, because I do want to change away from the Rostora Straight Sword anytime now. Did we? We didn't upgrade anything. I'm planning probably to use the Astora Greatsword. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Doesn't do better damage as of yet. We do need to upgrade it a little bit first. The Rostora Straight Sword should probably do us for the rest of the Cathedral, so we're going to go back there just now. We're going to grab one of the kind of side items that we missed the last time. It's actually quite an important item. And it's round about where the Warden attacked us the first time. Thankfully we have, what do you call it? A shortcut. We have a shortcut that actually cuts out a lot of this area this time, so we don't need to worry about walking all the way up round through the graveyard again. And that's all good for me. We do have our torch equipped, don't we? That's good. Is the Psycho guy still here? Yes he is. I don't think he disappears and the next part of this side quest begins until you actually open the main doors of the Cathedral a little bit later on. This guy's going to chase us, but he's not going to catch us. He's more than welcome to try. We're just going to ignore the enemies down here. Even if they don't want to ignore us, he's landed a hit on us, it doesn't really matter. Let's just climb up and get the hell away from him. You can't climb ladders, so we're all good. I thought we'd be at the top of this ladder by now. My bleed meter is going to go off. There we go. That's going to help us with our bleed status. We already grabbed the Cursed Great Shield from here. We grabbed the shard from around here as well, didn't we? No, we didn't? Okay. Titanite shard here, by the way. Just in case you miss it. So we want to go find our good pal, the Warden. She's down there. Just want to hack away at her. Bye. And now, you want to come down here. Yeah. As you can see, you know what's going to happen next. Our good friend, the giant, is going to help us out. Can't get this guy behind this tree. When he's standing here, all the arrows will just hit there, so you need to actually take that guy out by yourself. But this is the most valuable item around here. Another bone shard. Giant's going to help us out here. I don't really think there's anything too impressive around here. Thanks very much, bro. Just some souls, I think, more than anything. There's another enemy, yeah, just hiding out of sight around here. Sometimes he can get locked onto one of those enemies and start shooting at them instead of the ones he's meant to be shooting at. And he kind of becomes a wasted ally in that situation. I will make sure to put the video volume down. Whenever those guys start popping off his arrow, it's just like RIP to headphone users. I am aware of that. Back to the main bonfire, and then we're going to put those shortcuts to use. One of the shortcuts actually has another road built into it, and that's what's going to lead us to the Invasion Covenant, but we're not going to do that quite right away. Is it this one? Okay, nope. I always forget which door you need to walk out of. Down out of this one, and if you want to head off to the other path, it's right here. I'm going to open this door, just so that it's ready to go. Then can you? But we're not going to actually take it yet, we don't need to. So we're going to head on off. Down here, by the way, is creepy dude, and that over there is a ring. I want to say it's the poison bite ring. I think it is. Poison isn't really too much of a big deal in this game, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just run away from this guy and draw him out. There's no point in dealing with all that crap. The lock on in this game still is really weird and I don't like it. Come on. He goes down. Now, in order to complete one of the side quests later in this area, we're going to end up there and be dropped back down here. However, our giant friend over there is going to want to get involved with us. So right now is probably a good time to go and deal with him. As you can see, once you step into this mud, your movement is screwed. So be very aware of that. Also be aware of how much damage these guys can cause you, which is quite a significant amount. So you want to get about 2 or 3 hits in. Make sure you get behind them. Because that's why all their attacks go kind of to the front other than the foot stomps. So if you can stay just kind of to the back of them, you'll never be in danger of really being hit by too much. The biggest problem is just keeping both of their feet in the sorry, the frame. Oh, that was a close one, admittedly. So you know which foot's going to stomp down on you. If you can actually convince him to make a front attack like that, each time it's a lot easier to get in behind him and do this. Is that him dead? Seems to be. You want to look right up his goddamn trousers. So he doesn't drop, he does drop something, sorry. Don't think he did. But now he's no longer going to be a problem for us. Large Titanite Shard and a Dung Pie. Now, Dung Pie, I think there's another one over here to kind of accentuate just what you're dealing with right now. As you can probably guess, what we're rolling around in right now is the Giant's own version of a Dung Pie, unfortunately. This over here is the Maiden set, I think. Is it? Yeah, the Maiden set. So it's made in Astrea's set, I think. Is it Astrea? Astrea's from Demon Souls, sorry. The one from Dark Souls 1, I can't even remember her name. The one from the Way of White. No, I honestly can't remember her name at this moment in time, only to try and remember. But if you open this door, there's nothing really to see. It's not like a big secret area or whatever. It eventually leads to a dead end, but it does lead us to a weapon. Not a particularly good weapon, just one that can actually be very important for the lore of the Cathedral and understanding just how the hierarchy of the church works. I can't do words today. Okay, Saint Biden. And a homeward one. Okay, the Bident, where are you? A silver bident decorated by a holy symbol formerly wielded by Saint Clumt. He discarded this weapon that draws upon one's faith on the day that he put down his own faith behind him. Okay, so it scales with faith better than it does with its strength and dex abilities. 12, 12, 16. Not a great weapon, it doesn't really actually scale all that well, if you know what I mean. Just like once you upgrade it, its damage doesn't increase to the point where you're like, oh wow, this is very usable. So I wouldn't bother with it. The more interesting thing, of course, is about Clumt himself. Clumt is one of the archdeacons, as you'll find out as we reach the top of the altar there in the distance. The church is kind of controlled mostly by the 3 archdeacons. And then of course there's those above him as well. Aldrich being the head of the church, with another character who we'll become acquainted with not too far into the future. And then the archdeacons. Each archdeacon has a role to play in the church, and they've all changed over the years. Clumt of course put his faith behind him, as you can see in the description there. And he now, hey, Thralax, I think we've got a couple of those now. He now has a different purpose here in the Cathedral. You'll need to actually search to find him, and even then it's only speculation as to what he really is nowadays. But we probably will come across him at some point. The other 2 archdeacons we will talk about as they appear. We're not too far away from another. These kind of things, there's only really a handful in the pool. There's one here and there's one down there as well. I think it opens up this one over here for some reason. But they create a sort of pseudo bridge, and that's what you're going to use to cross from there to there later. This giant's a little bit more annoying to take down because, as you can see, he has some friends surrounding him. He has some more important weapons and armor around him as well, especially if you played Dark Souls 2, but we're not really going to concern ourselves with that. There's no point. So we're just going to scoot right on by. Let him do his thing. Another one, there's a maggot dude going to drop from the roof. Just try and ignore him for the moment. You can pop an Estus here if you wish, because we're going to draw the aggro of that guy over there. Don't worry about the one who's sitting down, he will not aggro you. Don't know why that is, but he doesn't. In fact, rather than dealing with this crap, the stupid magnetic attack thing that followed over from Dark Souls 2. I love Dark Souls 2 more than any other in the series, you guys know that, but yeah. The way all the attack tracking worked was kind of bullshit at the best of times, and unfortunately for some enemies, particularly those Cathedral Knights, it really does carry over. Opening this, opens out to the front of the cathedral where the warden usually hangs around, so we can use that shortcut over there now to climb all the way up through the front door and skip 90% of the cathedral. There's another big door over there, which is very intriguing. I wonder what's behind that. We'll find out very soon. In order to complete the next part of our side quest, hey, it's our buddy Sigurd, and he's opened up this bridge for us. What a nice guy. Hi, Sigurd.
Well, you look reasonably sane. I am a knight of Katarina. I've managed to track down this cathedral's store of treasure. It's right over there, across that narrow part. Treasure? Always so close, yet so far. I'm in quite a pickle, indeed.
Well, Sigurd, you sound pretty strange, but okay. I guess I'll trust you since you're my handy Katarina bro and all that.
Shame on you, you greedy guts. Thought you could outwit an onion. Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
Goddamn Patches every single time. So Patches has tricked us out, and if you haven't killed the giant, by the way, as soon as this cutscene ends, he will be standing right here. And he will punch you in the face and knock you right off this bridge, probably killing you. If you don't, you can fight him here, so it could be a lot better for your rolling chances. You're going to worry about the heavy roll, but it doesn't really matter. So that was a quick way across. You will get to activate that later, but you need to activate it from the side you're actually going to, unfortunately. Can't activate it from the side Patches was standing at. So we're going to... yeah, we're convincing that giant to strike out there. Need to kill this guy this time, unfortunately, and try and roll away. This guy should be aggroed now, so hopefully... well, no, not really. Okay. I think we're just going to ignore all these guys and head straight to the boss. If you don't want to go in alone, you can summon Horus and Anri. Or Anri. Onri. I don't know how to say it, and I don't want to bother trying. This isn't Hazel, is it? That's a red sign, so if you summon this... no, it isn't the chef, but that's of course just not an NPC. And right over here we can get Cirrus, so we're going to summon Cirrus as well. I know it's kind of crappy to summon all these people in, but... where's Horus? Horus come or not? Ah, right, okay. We can't summon Horus because we haven't used the dried fingers, that's okay. Anri and Cirrus will do it just fine. I'm summoning these guys just to make this fight go a lot faster, although I think it actually goes faster if you don't summon anyone. Anyway, these guys will help out, they'll draw a lot of aggro in the fight, and also I like just having Cirrus in because it feels like it pushes her questline forward. Hers is a kind of strange one. and it can change depending on what you do. I don't think Summoner actually for this fight does a single thing, but might as well go for it. So this is the Deacons of the Deep. You can see it's a bit of a mob boss, and the way it works is that there's tons of these Deacons, and there's this red flame floating about. You can see it just disappeared over there, and in order to do damage to the boss, you need to fight the monster which has the red flame inside them. These Deacons don't do a whole ton of damage, so you can kind of just run around just slashing away at them. I recommend doing it just to kind of clear the field a little bit and offer yourself the best chance. So once you've dealt a certain amount of damage to the boss, the main Deacon of the Deep will appear, and then you're just going to have to wail on him until the fight ends. I'm actually going to run away for a little bit and let this fight continue and see if I've got anything to put on. I have a pine resin, so I'm going to have that. No one really gets damaged a whole lot. As you can tell, this is why this fight's kind of easy, because even your summons are never really in danger of going down. The most difficult part of the fight is when the main Deacon appears. Whenever he shows up, him and all his friends are going to start casting a curse bubble, and if that curse bubble comes off, then here comes the main Deacon, I think. Yeah, you can see the giant staff there. If that curse bubble goes off, you will die instantly. So if you see someone about to cast a curse bubble like this, just kill one of the main Deacons and it'll stop. So we're going to kill this guy, and then we'll heal up. Kill this big dude, stop him casting it. See, here's the curse bubble showing up, they're all casting. We're getting caught up in quite a lot of attacks right now. As you can see, you just keep running around, hacking away at them. There's literally zero strategy to this fight. I'm just going to use the resin now. I'm just going to hack away at the main priest. And there they all go down. Not a difficult fight at all. You get the small doll and the soul of the Deacons of the Deep. The soul of the Deacons is actually the one that gives you the most souls, I think, in the whole game, which I find kind of weird since it's halfway through the game. I'm going to cancel our buff. We need to rest at this bonfire for a number of reasons. First of all, just to rest at it. Second of all, whenever you rest at this bonfire, the Deacon's corpse respawns and we can grab his items. These offer you like 1,000 souls each for each part that he sells. That's an easy extra 3,000 souls if you need it. If you go find the description of it. White crown worn by an Archdeacon of the Cathedral of the Deep, presented solely to delegates of the gods. Of the 3 Archdeacons of the Deep, one cast off his white crown and left the cathedral to stand by Aldrich. So as you can tell, Aldrich is not here. He's gone somewhere else. This is his coffin, by the way. Look at the size of this goddamn thing. Aldrich has left. He's moved on to another location, and we need to find him in order to take him down for Ormrey's sake and Horus's sake and our own, because we need his ashes put on the altar. And one of his archdeacons has followed him. Now it could, some people, well, you could say it's Klimt, but there's evidence, well, there's proof that it's definitely not Klimt. Moving on, see if we can get this. Holy garb worn by an Archdeacon of the Deep. Of the 3 Archdeacons of the Deep, one stood over Aldrich's casket with hope that he would return one day. So that, of course, is the Archdeacon we have just slain. This is the one that overlooked Aldrich's casket. And then, is it the leggings, the skirt or something? Yeah. Of the Archdeacons of the Deep, one attended to Rosaria, mother of rebirth, whom he deemed a goddess. So that seems to be Klimt. Klimt cast his faith aside, stayed in the cathedral to worship Rosaria, goddess of rebirth, who is also the leader of the Invasion Covenant, and probably our next, not target, our next sort of objective to try and reach. I love this, the giant altar thing is so awesome. As you can see here, this is all the kind of deep corruption though that's made its way into the church. I don't really want to get mixed up with this guy. Ow. Need to actually pull this back down. I'm going to go over here in case he tries to sneak through on us, but he's not going to. The reason I do this is to go and speak to Patches. And we've got to threaten him. Okay, frame rate, that's cool. You just do what you want to do. If you don't meet Patches here, by the way, if you try and use the tower key in Firelink Shrine, he will lock you in and force you to jump down the tower towards the Estus ring in order to kind of rob your corpse, although he never actually does that. Okay, he's not here. Does he maybe meet us on the other side? Yeah, you can see him on the other side there. Okay, that's fine. We're just going to head back to the shrine. Got about 5 minutes max, so we've not really got enough time to go and get to Rosaria right now. That's going to be the start of our next episode. But before we go, I want to check the Archdeacon's actually soul. You can see how different it is. It's these tiny collection of all these souls together, forming this one bigger one. Soul of the Deacons of the Deep, one of the twisted souls steeped in strength. After Aldrich left for the Boreal Valley, Archdeacon Royce remained in the cathedral with the high priests to keep eternal watch over their master's coffin. So Archdeacon Royce was the Archdeacon that we just killed, and amongst that boss fight there. So that's Royce accounted for, Klimt potentially still hiding out in the cathedral, and one on the run with Aldrich himself. So now we know what happens there. If you consume the Deacon's soul, it gives you quite a lot of souls. We're probably going to do that. There's Henri and Horus there. We can also speak to them in a minute. We'll go to see Ludleth here. If you try and trade... Sorry. If you trade this soul, you can get a sorcery, which isn't very good, or a candlestick, which provides light, I think. It doesn't really do too much. It's not really worth it. That's why consuming their soul is definitely the much better option. Horus has nothing to say. Of course. As well as Henri.
Oh, and we meet again. We spoke before on the road of sacrifices. Henri of Astora.
Henri.
I'm well pleased to see you safe. We reached the Cathedral of the Deep, but Aldrich's coffin was empty. The man-eater must have left for his true home. The little doll in the empty coffin told me. Aldrich is said to hail from Irithyll in the Boreal Valley, an ancient fabled city. A pilgrim told me that the city lies beyond Firelink Keep, and so becomes our destination. Aldrich's honest home appearance.
Okay, no problem. So we know he's now in Irithyll, which lies beyond Firelink Keep. So that's our new location. If you get beyond Firelink Keep and reach the borders of Irithyll, you actually can't cross over unless you own the doll, which you get for defeating the Deacons. I think it's in a key. Yeah, it's here. The small doll. Silverwork doll depicting a young squire. In the legendary old city of Irithyll, situated in the Boreal Valley, the Pontiff Sullivan gave this doll to valued subjects so that they might use it to cross the barrier when they return home. Listen carefully and you can hear it say, "Wherever you go, the moon still sets in Irithyll. Wherever you may be, Irithyll is your home." So, Pontiff Sullivan is also related to Irithyll, but he's of course also related to Cathedral of the Deep, and he's actually Aldrich's right-hand man. Although there's some evidence for that relationship to actually be kind of flipped, and we'll see that more when we actually arrive at Irithyll very, very soon. Our next location is actually through Firelink Keep, of course. We need to defeat the Abyss Watchers and gain our first Cinders of a Lord. Doing that will grant us access to one of the many places they potentially turned over because of the Abyss and obliterated, so we'll get to see evidence of that. And beyond there lies Irithyll and Aldrich himself. Consuming this soul gets you 20,000 souls, which is not to be sniffed at. We are switching up, of course, to the Astora Greatsword. So what does it run on? D and C, strength and dex. So we're just got to start powering up these these stats here then. How many levels are we going to get? 4. Not all that much. To be fair, we might as well just do this, to be quite honest. Get our 20 endurance.
Farewell, Ashen. May the
As we pass over this episode, I decide to give her the Firekeeper soul.
Ashen One, this is much like what lies within me. Then let it find its own place within my bosom. She will understand. We are both Firekeepers after all. Forgive me, may the flame.
So now she can heal the Dark Sigil. You can see it's quite a lot of souls. Usually, depending on how many Dark Sigils you have, it's that equivalent of a level. So we had about 10,893 souls to get to another level. So when that increases, it goes to about 11,000 something. So in order to heal the 2 Dark Sigils, we need to pay the equivalent souls of what it would cost us to level up twice. You can get a maximum of 5 Dark Sigils, and of course it costs you what it's going to cost you. Level up 5 times, and the further you get in the game, the more costly that's going to be. Yol can keep giving us levels up if we want to, and we can get the extra ending if we do so. However, I don't really want to do that in this playthrough. I could probably do it another time and just show you how it ends. So we're going to ignore that right now and go for one of the more conventional endings. It stops you from wrecking your character, not literally, just cosmetically, but I really don't like the look of it. And 5 free levels, if you're going to PvP or something like that and you want the free levels it's very useful, but for PvE it's very easy to level up anyway without Yoel's help and getting into all the nasty business that that incurs. So we're going to ignore that right now. Last thing, right before we go, we're hitting the half-hour mark exactly as I say this, so can't go too much longer. We're going to see if Andre here will upgrade her sword.
That is good, wasn't it?
Can he do the job? He can. So there we go. Going to start upgrading that now.
Hey, be careful.
Switch over to it. You can actually carry it without having to sacrifice our shield. Yeah. It's a big heavy ass sword. So let's check it out. I've heard good things about it, so I'm willing to try it. Hawkwood, as you can see, is not here. He passes on and he doesn't just drop dead. He moves on, first outside where you can meet him and chat to him, and eventually onto another place entirely where we can meet him much later in the game. Leonard has nothing else to say to us. He's exhausted all of his dialogue. The next thing for us to do is to go actually meet Rosaria and actually interact with the Invasion Covenant. And from there we can actually progress his storyline a little bit further. Thank you guys for joining me here today. I'm glad we got a lot done. Kind of, we got some undead bone shard which we should burn. That was kind of stupid of me. I totally forgot all about that. There we go. So now got a stronger Estus. And we made our way through the Cathedral of the Deep. We also got to meet Patches. Patches will meet again very soon in the next episode where we go over to meet Rosaria. And we can pay for what he did to us. Eventually after that he's going to become a merchant and hang it up there and offer us some kind of good stuff and also be kind of relevant to other character storylines here in the shrine. But until that, next time we're going to cancel it here guys, and I will see you next time. I'm Needle in the North. Let me just rest here and drop my ultra great sword for 5 seconds. Till next time guys, stay kindled.